Come June 21, it will be decision day for the people of Ekiti. 18 candidates are gunning for one seat.
I am the next governor of Ekiti.
But the people will have the final say.
I know that tolerance has a very big place.
Join extensive coverage of the election and get up to the many details as development unfolds.
I'm the voice of Ekiti people.
With expert analysis from the best political team on television.
And that's honesty of INEC.
Join us all day June 21 to find out who emerges the next governor of Ekiti State.
We have agreed to move this state forward.
Keep a date with us on Core TV News. You can also watch us live on our website on www.coretvnews.com, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back. Now, this is our continuing coverage of the Ekiti State governorship election, and just to bring you up to speed with what is happening in Ekiti State right now, accreditation is still going on. We understand the people are coming out in their numbers to have the accreditation done, but as usual, we're getting the usual story you get during elections in Nigeria. INEC has not been completely up to scratch. We understand materials have still not gotten to some of the polling units. As a matter of fact, in one local government area, we understand security personnel were not provided to escort INEC officials as the ad hoc staff now of INEC to go to the polling unit. So, you know, you always would have this logistics nightmare. And INEC would always tell us it is on top of its game, but then this is a recurring story. Anytime there's election in this country, you have this situation of materials not arriving on time. Let's just hope the problems are sorted out and that voting begins at 12 or 12:30 whenever INEC chooses to open the voting process. But let's take you through some of the statistics again. As we told you, we actually have 16 local government areas in Ekiti State where election would be taking place, 16 local government in all. Now, to be elected governor, the Constitution says, well, the candidate who emerges winner would have to win the highest number of votes cast in the election and would also have to win 25% or 1/4 of the votes in 2/3 of the local government areas of the state. So basically what we're saying is for anybody to be declared governor or winner of this election at the end of the day, that individual, that candidate must win the majority of the votes cast in this election. That's not just win the entire local government areas. You must win the majority of votes cast in the election. Then the second condition, you must get 25% in 2/3 of all these local government areas. So 2/3 of 16 would give you about 10.1. We are approximating that to say it's 11. So if a candidate gets the highest number of votes cast and the candidate wins in 11 out of the 16 local government areas, that candidate would be declared governor. That's the way it is. And then 16 local government areas, you have their capitals there, and these are the federal constituencies. Altogether, 6 of them, 2 in the south, 2 in the south, 2 in the central, 2 in the north, 2 central, and 2 in the south. Federal constituencies now. Now, these are the senatorial districts. Election now will be fought not just at the local government area. You have the federal constituencies, of course, which is a breakdown from the local government, and then you have the senatorial district. Let's just give you some information now about the senatorial district. The governorship candidate of the APC is from Ekiti North Senatorial District, and then the governorship candidate of the PDP is from this senatorial district, Ekiti Central. Now, same thing as the governorship candidate of the Labour Party, Ekiti Central. The governorship candidate of Accord Party, Kole Ajayi, Ekiti Central. And then do not also forget, we told you earlier, that in Afao, that's the hometown of the governorship candidate of the PDP, that's Ayo Fayoshe, there are 6 candidates from that town alone. So 6 candidates running from just one town. So it means we're looking for Ekiti Central alone. We're looking at about 8 or so candidates running from Ekiti Central Senatorial District. That's surely going to be a battle because Of course, they'll have to split the vote among themselves. And do not also forget, Ekiti Central is where the state capital is. And the state capital, Ado, actually has the highest number of registered voters. So in spite of the fact that the governor is from Ekiti North, he will be aiming to make a very strong showing in Ekiti Central. Why? Because that's where the state capital is. The governor would be hoping that what he's done in the state capital, whatever transformation he says is carried out in the state capital, he'd be hoping that would convince the people to vote for him. So Ekiti Central is a battleground. All the candidates will be aiming to win big there. Quite important. And then you have Ekiti South. Ekiti South, of course, the candidates would also be hoping they get enormous number of votes from Ekiti South. Now, the registration areas, we know that, 177. And let's take a look at the number of registered voters. This is the official number of registered voters, 732,166. But you know what? On election day, you would not expect that all the registered voters would come out to vote. It doesn't play out that way. And then INEC has now told us that about 255,000 or so would not be voting. Why? Because they do not have the permanent voters card. So take 250-something thousand from this, you end up with around 400 plus or so. And now you would also be hoping that that 400 would come out to vote. And it doesn't work that way. So we're looking at a situation where the outcome of this election, the number of people who would actually go out to cast their vote might possibly, we do not know. This is just a hazard a guess now. Could just be in the region of 300,000, 200, even 150,000 or 100 plus. Do not forget, in Anambra State in 2010, when they had the governorship election there, something like that happened. As a matter of fact, only around 100 and something thousand people actually came out to vote to choose, because most of the registered voters did not find their names on the voters register. This time, it is not a question of this registered voters now not finding their names on the voters register. INEC says they do not have the permanent voters card. So about 200 and something thousand would not be voting. And I tell you, that is really, really huge. Now, this is a breakdown of the valid registered voters according, going by the local government areas. Now, we told you about Ado. Ado has 134,141 voters, registered voters, and that's the reason we told you Ado will surely be a battleground. All the candidates will be aiming to win big around here. Also, in Rekbodu, fellow the local government area, the candidates will be hoping to win big there, and that local government area is where we told you Ayo Fayoshi comes from that area, Bamidele Okpeyemi comes from that area, and 6 other candidates. They're all from this. So it's really huge. It's really, really huge. And the governor himself is from Oye. The incumbent governor from Oye, you have 45,918 registered voters there. So they would be hoping that, that the turnout is impressive and that this number come out. But I don't see it working out that way. Now, this is a breakdown according to the senatorial district. Ekiti North Senatorial District, the total number of registered voters there, valid registered voters, I should say, 190,628. Now, look at Ekiti Central. That is why that senatorial district is very important. Ado is very important. Look at it, 301,756 registered voters. And Ekiti South not doing badly, doing very well. Quite a number of registered voters there. So the candidates will be, I expect that the candidates would have campaigned intensively around here as well. 239,782 registered voters. And of course, women have a big role to play in this election. As a matter of fact, if any candidate ignores the women, that candidate would be doing so at their own peril. Look at the number of registered female voters, 51% compared to 49% of male. So you would expect that the candidates now of the various political parties would have campaigned intensively, would have targeted their campaign, I should say, at the women folk, because to a large extent, we all know that women, more than men, come out to vote on election day. The number of polling units, 2,195, and of course, you have the breakdown of the polling units there, and the number of voting areas, that's where people would actually go to vote, 2,803. And There you have a breakdown of the voting points, and then you have the candidates. And I should say the candidates are very well educated. Look at them. Some having a bachelor's degree. Well, this is the only candidate, I think, who has an SSCE. That's Okpeyemi Folayemi Akinyemi SSCE. Anyway, the Constitution requires that you have a minimum of SSCE to run for the position of governor. At least for now, we understand the National Assembly is actually trying to amend that aspect of the Constitution to require a diploma. Of course, you have the major contenders, 18 candidates contesting, but these are the guys we consider the major contenders. These are the candidates. You have Okpeyemi Bamidele of the Labour Party, the incumbent governor, Kayode Fayemi of the APC, Kole Ajayi of Accord Party, and then you have the former governor, Ayo Fayose of the PDP. Now, we're going to take a short break here. When we come back, we'll have another guest join us on the program to do more analysis of this election. Don't go away.
Core TV News, expanding your view.